Today, we're counting down the top 16 horror movies based on terrifying true events. From exorcisms to serial killers, these films took inspiration from some of the darkest corners of reality, and I'm excited to share them with you. So grab some popcorn, dim the lights, and get ready to face your fears. But before we start, I want to warn you, what you're about to witness is not for the faint of heart. These movies are based on real events that will send chills down your spine. So if you're feeling brave, let's dive in. And trust me, the truth is often more frightening than fiction. The Strangers, 2008. The film's terrifying premise draws from multiple real-life home invasion incidents in California, most notably the random and senseless violence of the Ketty Cabin murders from 1981. The murders in Ketty, California, involved 4 people brutally killed in a cabin with no clear motive, which closely mirrors the film's core theme of inexplicable violence. The chilling tagline, "Because you were home," underscores the randomness of such attacks, suggesting that victims are sometimes targeted simply for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. The Amityville Horror, 1979. Based on the notorious DeFeo murders, this film explores the dark history of 112 Ocean Avenue in Amityville, New York. Ronald DeFeo Jr. murdered 6 members of his family in 1974, claiming supernatural voices compelled him to commit the killings. The subsequent Lutz family's claims of paranormal activity, which they reported experiencing shortly after moving into the house, became a media sensation. While paranormal investigators have since disputed many of the claims, the story continues to captivate public imagination, blending true crime with supernatural horror. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 1974. Ed Gein, the real-life inspiration behind Leatherface, was a Wisconsin murderer and body snatcher who shocked the nation in the 1950s. Beyond creating clothing and household items from human remains, Gein's disturbing actions influenced not just this film, but also Psycho and Silence of the Lambs. While the film dramatically exaggerates Gein's actual crimes, the core concept of a killer who treats human bodies as objects remains deeply unsettling, reflecting the real-life horror of Gein's psychological pathology. Annabelle, 2014. The real Annabelle doll, a Raggedy Ann toy, resides in the Warren Occult Museum in Connecticut. Paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren claimed the doll was possessed by a demonic entity that would move on its own and cause supernatural disturbances. While skeptics dismiss these claims, the doll has become a significant piece of paranormal folklore, inspiring multiple films and capturing the public's fascination with haunted objects. Open Water, 2003. Tom and Eileen Lonergan's disappearance during a scuba diving trip in the Great Barrier Reef in 1998 remains one of the most haunting maritime mysteries. The couple was accidentally left behind by their diving boat, and their bodies were never recovered. Speculation ranged from shark attacks to potential suicide, creating a real-life narrative more terrifying than most fictional scenarios. The film dramatizes their potential fate, transforming their tragic story into a meditation on human vulnerability in nature's most unforgiving environments. The Conjuring, 2013. The Perron family's experiences in their Rhode Island farmhouse during the 1970s formed the basis of this film. Paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren documented extensive alleged supernatural activity, including apparitions, strange noises, and threatening presences. While skeptics challenge the Warrens' claims, the family maintains that they experienced genuine paranormal phenomena, making their story a compelling blend of personal testimony and supernatural mystery. The Exorcism of Emily Rose, 2005. Anneliese Michel's case represents a tragic intersection of religious belief and potential mental health crisis. The young German woman underwent numerous exorcisms between 1975 and 1976, believing she was possessed by demons. Her death from malnutrition led to a landmark legal case where her parents and 2 priests were convicted of negligent homicide. The film brilliantly explores the tension between medical explanation and spiritual interpretation, leaving audiences to question the boundaries of belief and rationality. Wolf Creek, 2005. Drawing from the terrifying real-life crimes of Ivan Milat and Bradley Murdoch, this film captures the profound dangers lurking in Australia's vast, isolated landscapes. Milat, known as the backpacker killer, murdered several travelers in the 1990s, while Murdoch was convicted of killing British tourist Peter Falconio. The film transforms these true crime narratives into a visceral exploration of human predation, emphasizing the vulnerability of travelers in remote locations. Zodiac, 2007. The Zodiac killer's reign of terror in Northern California during the late 1960s remains one of America's most infamous unsolved criminal mysteries. Responsible for at least 5 confirmed murders but claiming to have killed 37, the killer taunted police and media with cryptic letters and coded messages. Despite extensive investigations, the killer's identity was never conclusively established, making the case a persistent source of speculation and fear. Psycho, 1960. Ed Gein's influence on Norman Bates' character reveals the thin line between psychological horror and true crime. Gein's complex relationship with his deceased mother and his practice of creating trophy items from human remains directly influenced Hitchcock's portrayal of Norman Bates. The film transcends mere horror, becoming a profound psychological study of identity, mental illness, and the potential for darkness within seemingly ordinary individuals. Compliance, 2012. Based on a series of real phone pranks primarily conducted by David Stewart, this film exposes the disturbing potential of psychological manipulation. Between 1992 and 2004, Stewart made numerous calls to restaurants and other businesses, convincing managers to conduct degrading and abusive acts by impersonating authority figures. The film serves as a chilling commentary on human obedience and the dangerous potential of unquestioning compliance. The Girl Next Door, 2007. The tragic story of Sylvia Likens represents one of the most horrific cases of child abuse in American history. In 1965, Likens was tortured and ultimately killed by her caregiver, Gertrude Banaszewski, with the participation of neighborhood children. The case shocked Indianapolis and continues to be studied as an extreme example of collective psychological abuse and the potential for human cruelty. Borderland, 2007. Inspired by the real-life cult killings in Mexico, this film explores the terrifying world of ritualistic human sacrifice. The actual case involved a cult that believed human sacrifice would grant them supernatural powers, targeting vulnerable individuals. The film dramatizes these events, highlighting the dangerous intersection of religious fanaticism, cultural beliefs, and violent criminality. The Mothman Prophecies, 2002. The mysterious events in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, during the 1960s remain a fascinating paranormal legend. Numerous residents reported sightings of a large, winged creature with glowing red eyes before the catastrophic collapse of the Silver Bridge in 1967. While scientific explanations are sought, the story continues to captivate those interested in unexplained phenomena and the potential connection between supernatural events and real-world tragedies. Winchester, 2018. Sarah Winchester's extraordinary story is rooted in genuine psychological trauma and architectural obsession. Following the deaths of her husband and infant daughter, she became convinced that the spirits of those killed by Winchester rifles were haunting her. Her continuous construction of her San Jose mansion, with staircases leading to nowhere and doors opening to walls, was an attempt to confuse and appease these spirits, creating one of the most unusual architectural projects in American history. The Possession, 2012. The Dybbuk box became an internet sensation through online accounts of its supposedly haunted nature. According to Jewish folklore, a Dybbuk is a malevolent possessing spirit, and this particular wine box became famous through eBay listings and personal accounts of supernatural experiences. While skeptics argue these are elaborate hoaxes, the story continues to fascinate those interested in paranormal phenomena, demonstrating the enduring human attraction to mysterious and unexplained events. These movies remind us that the most frightening horror often stems from the darkest corners of human experience. They blur the lines between fiction and reality, transforming our understanding of fear and challenging our perceptions of what's truly possible. Which of these movies left you sleeping with the lights on? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to check out more of our spine-chilling content.